Hi, have you ever used a MES before? If you haven't, you've heard of them, you like the sound of what they can do for your business, but you're just not sure how to get started. This video is going to help you with a simple 5-step process of thinking through things like what information you need, what people you need to involve, what impact it, and measuring what impact it's going to make on your factory. MES, manufacturing execution systems, are really meant to automate lots of the manual data entry type tasks and manual reminder things that go on in a manufacturing business. But if you don't know, if you've never used one before, and you're thinking about using the MES, it can be really difficult to even know where to start, to start evaluating what you need and thinking about that. This video is for you. It's going to be really helpful with a simple 5-step process of what things you need to think about, what information you need to go down the road of choosing the right MES for your business, how to implement that successfully, and then how to track if it's making a positive impact on your business. So let's jump into those 5 steps now in this video. So number 1 is to have a strategy. So this is quite a high level thing, and really it's really understanding what impact or what difference you want it to make to your business. Is it going to be, so like some examples of this would be some companies decide that they need a MES because they're at a stage in their growth where they've got potential to expand their manufacturing process, but they realize that if they carry on expanding with their existing systems, with people maybe writing on paperwork and scanning in documents, if they were to expand up their manufacturing process, that amount of admin would just get completely out of hand and wouldn't be sustainable. So having it putting in some kind of automated, systematic process to help your business scale, that might be a really kind of key strategy driver for your whole decision-making process and your whole implementation process afterwards. Some other strategies that we see are people are getting driven by customers to have a solid quality control and product traceability process in place. Maybe it's to do with becoming more competitive, maybe adding some advantages or cutting your lead time or being more responsive than your customers are at the moment. Or maybe it's about capturing real data to drive continuous improvements and drive productivity improvements. Those are just a few examples, but depending which path you go down is going to make what MES system you use and what you do with it and how you track it completely different. So making that decision first, and that's probably a decision at the managerial or at the director level of the business about what the strategy is for the business over the next 5 to 10 years, and then identifying how a manufacturing execution system or some kind of digital manufacturing software will help you achieve that strategy. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 should naturally come from that, is setting some goals. So again, at that director level or manager level, once you set that strategy, set some specific goals that will give you a clear benefit once that's implemented in your business. So these will probably be driven from the KPIs that you're already using in your business, whether that be a productivity-based one like OEE, or whether it be a customer one like on-time delivery or days lead time. So set some clear goals based on your KPIs that will give you a clear, and this will help you later on in a couple of ways, to give you a clear cost justification. So if you can clearly say that it's going to increase our productivity by 10%, you can do a clear, easy calculation of, if we get that increase 10% year on year, what benefit that's going to give to the business to help you justify any kind of time and money expenditure on a system like this. Any customer improvements, again, can be tied into the benefit that's going to give you in sales versus the investment that you need to make into the system. So set some goals. That's the second point. Number 3 is to map out your existing manufacturing process. And I say this because it helps you see where a MES can fit into your existing manufacturing process, because it does have to work around what you've got already. There's no point. So the third step is to map out your existing manufacturing process, and in that exercise, to be looking for opportunities where the MES can slot in to your existing manufacturing process and basically make a big impact. So what I think you're looking for, like initially, is like the 20% of activities that cause the biggest amount of mistakes, data entry issues, the biggest amount of time, or would make the biggest impact. So so things like operators writing in kind of measurements, maintenance checks, things like that on pieces of paper. Anything like extremely manual that could potentially easily be replaced by a MES, either just capturing that information automatically, or any type of information that's kind of taken, recorded, and then involves lots of like downstream manual work. So people, taking that information and putting it into a Excel spreadsheet or some other system that then has loads of manipulation before it comes into report. Stuff like that is prime for taking out and being replaced by a MES to get that automatically, easily, and just spit out useful information that can inform decisions. So map out your existing process and use that as a basis to figure out how a MES can slot into your existing process, and based on the strategy and the goals that you've set up, see how it can make the biggest impact in terms of guiding, training operators, capturing data, doing quality checks, building that traceable record, or maybe doing scheduled things like planning tasks, maintenance, triggering maintenance tasks, things like that. So map out that process and figure out how a MES can fit into that. Number 4 is to establish a team. So a project like, and I mention this at this point because I do think it's worth beforehand setting the strategy and the goals before you start to build a team. The mapping the process, maybe that can be done after establishing the team, but identifying a team and the roles of the people who will be involved, I think, is really useful quite early on in the process. So who's going to lead the project, who's going to understand what are the overall goals, who can stay focused on the business outcomes that they want to come and not get too tied down in the technical details, and make sure that you deliver a business project that delivers on the ROI that's needed for the business. People who will be involved in training and getting existing operators on board, because to be honest, this is going to be quite a big culture change within the business. It's going to impact people at every level of the business, and it's going to change the working practices day to day. So having an effective trainer who understands culture change is going to be quite important to the success of the project. And then people who do understand the technical details, who can administrate the system, work with the supplier to get it installed, get it integrated into your business. Those are some of the key roles that are going to be needed in your team to successfully implement this MES. And then number 5, I think, is about capturing the detail of your manufacturing process. So once the process is mapped out and you've decided how the MES is going to fit into your manufacturing process, capturing the detail is about of each manufacturing operation. Maybe stand there, put a video camera on someone as they go through their shift, their day, or how they build a product, and use that to understand the detailed steps, because I think ideally what should end up in the MES is a detailed record and instructions of how to follow your manufacturing process. So you have to have a clear, accurate understanding and representation of your manufacturing process first to put that into the MES so that people can follow it in the future. You know, often what happens is if you go off existing work instructions or standard operating procedures, when you actually go out there into the factory and onto the production line, in reality, people aren't following those processes to the letter at all. So go out there, get videos, get photos, get pictures, get it documented, however you want to do it. Capture what's in reality happening, put that information into the MES as a starting point. By all means, optimize it and improve it from there, but capture that process detail to fit into the MES so that you can have a stable and consistent process going forward. So just to summarize the 5 steps to getting started with a manufacturing execution system if you've never used one before is number 1 is to plan a strategy, number 2 is set some goals, number 3 is to map your existing manufacturing process, number 4 is to create a team with a wide set of skills to implement the MES, and then number 4 is to go about capturing the process detail, videos, pictures, written documents of exactly how your process works. I think once you've done those tasks, you'll be in a really good position. You'll be really well prepared to decide what you need from a MES, plan out how you're going to implement it, and plan who's going to help you implement it. So I hope this has been really helpful. If you've got any comments on that, leave it in the comments below. Love to hear some of your feedback. And see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.